Reconnection successful. Coming in at yellow. Yellow frames. Going down to red. Oh my god.
Stream standard for a year. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna enter that contest. I don't see anything up on their Twitter about like problems that they're having. Twitch is still having issues.
We're still going in the red for some reason. We're having trouble connecting. Guys, there?
Yeah, I'm here. You wanna we want to go through the rest of the show and then just like cut it and edit it and call it good?
Yeah, we'll try our best. All right, let's keep going with this clip then.
No worries.
To everybody out there who can hear us and see us still, thank you for us.
That is very disturbing. There was, just to be clear, nothing in that intelligence community assessment that said anything about collusion, and we did not draw on the dossier as a source for that report. Now, it's true that led to a sequence of events, and it did serve as a catalyst for the Mueller investigation. As to collusion, well, I've learned some things, as has John, about that, although from a legal standpoint, I think that's yet to be proven. Certainly, the president's exhortation to the Russians on the 27th of July of 2016 to go find the missing 30,000 emails, which, as revealed in the latest indictment by
okay, we can kill this.
Counsel
This guy is literally just ripping on the president. He's just pulling everything out of his hat. Every damn talking point that he can pull out, he's possibly using. Oh, he asked the Russians for the 30,000 emails, and he's picking on us because we decided to start an investigation based on a complete fabricated lie that we paid for and may have sent our agents over to collect, but we can't tell you that. Can't tell you that.
Can't say it.
Because, I'm not capable of being honest. That's why I was the director of the CIA.
He's the worst, and he's retarded too. He can't even talk.
I take it back. He was not CIA director. He was DNI director. My apologies. All right, so let's move on to the next clip. The next clip is actually John Brennan, and it is, excuse me, it's not John Brennan. We do have, or rather, I had a clip that I was thinking of putting in that was a John Brennan interview. It was a Rachel Maddow clip. She got so excited. She got her interview with John Brennan right after he got his security clearance revoked, as if that wasn't planned.
I think we're back up.
But that clip was about 20 minutes long, so I really don't think that I wanted to play that. Oh, welcome back. Glad to see you guys again. Funny seeing you here during a podcast for politics.
Yeah, sorry, you guys.
I'm totally friends with the guy now.
I apologize. I don't know why the stream went down. We suck.
1 gigabyte internet. What do you know?
Oh yeah. All right. So let's get some Tucker Tuckerson in this week. I need my Tucker fix.
All right.
Gotta do it.
Oh, your Tucker fix.
Tucker Tuckerson tonight!
Welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. The White House announced today it has revoked the security clearance of former CIA Director John Brennan. It is considering doing the same to other former government officials who, like Brennan, now work as left-wing political pundits. That category would include former Director of National Intelligence Jim Clapper. It's not clear why any of these men still have legal access to classified material. The fact that they retained that power after leaving government for the private sector and punditry is bizarre, and it remained largely unknown to the public until a month ago when we broke the story on this show. Brennan no longer works for the federal government in any capacity. He holds no official post. And yet, according to two sources we spoke to exclusively today, Brennan retains perhaps the most valuable asset he had in government, a top-secret security clearance. Brennan is an out-of-the-closet extremist. This is not a man who should have a security clearance. A month later, that remains true. John Brennan remains thoroughly discredited and unbalanced. Just a few weeks ago, he accused the president of treason for daring to hold a press conference with a foreign leader. Keep in mind that treason is a death penalty offense. Responsible people do not make that charge for political reasons. But Brennan didn't hesitate.
He is, I think, the most divisive president we've ever had in the Oval Office. He is feeding and fueling hatred and animosity and misunderstandings among Americans. I use the term that this is nothing short of treasonous because it is a betrayal of the nation. He is giving aid and comfort to the enemy.
A betrayal of the nation. Would you want a person who, say, casually accused people of murder without evidence to get a security clearance? Obviously, you wouldn't. Brennan is not different. In a statement released today, Brennan called the loss of his clearance an effort to suppress freedom of speech. And yet Brennan is the one who believes that words alone, speech, are a form of treason and should get you sent to prison if not executed.
You have to say that very thing.
Is now belatedly acknowledging that. Lou Dobbs hosts Lou Dobbs Tonight, of course, on Fox Business, and he joins us tonight. Lou, what would be the reason? Can you think of a legitimate reason for John Brennan to retain a security clearance after leaving government for punditry?
I can't even imagine why that would be necessary, why it would be, frankly, allowed. After his first personal attacks, not policy attacks, personal attacks against the President of the United States. And what we now suspect was a John Brennan-inspired and led assault on this president, an effort to subvert his campaign and his administration through the good offices and helpful energies of the FBI. It is, to me, unthinkable that he would be permitted to be anywhere near one of our intelligence agencies or any part of this government.
So you've covered the news for a long time. It wasn't that long ago that the left was, I think, appropriately wary of bureaucrats who worked in secret of our entire intelligence apparatus, right, and the idea of unelected, permanent Washington undoing a democratically elected politician would have been horrifying to them, and now they're defending it. Or am I missing something?
No, I think you are absolutely on point, and I think, by the way, you deserve immense credit for bringing this prominently to the national consciousness a month ago when you started taking up the issue of why in the world are these people who are attacking the President of the United States personally permitted security clearances? How could that even be permitted? And I think you deserve great credit for that. But in terms of the spectacle of seeing the former FBI director, the former CIA director, the National Director of Intelligence, James Clapper, absolutely in full-throated assault against this president and attacking him, as I say, personally, almost weekly, and then it became more frequent. We have never witnessed anything near that in this country's history.
I'm confused, though. If you ran one of these agencies and you had an institutional long-term interest in preserving the credibility of that agency, you'd be very upset with people like John Brennan or Jim Clapper because they detract from your legitimacy. They give rise in people's minds to questions about the deep state. They make people nervous. So why are they not telling these guys, slow it down, get off Twitter, stop being overtly political? You're doing damage to the institution, which they are.
There apparently is plenty of support within the leadership of those agencies, the holdovers, the leftovers, if you will, from the Obama administration, not to do precisely that. It is highly questionable to me why we tolerated the former intelligence agency heads becoming part of the mainstream political debate, if you can call their assault on a president personally part of the mainstream debate. But they were attacking him vigorously, viciously, unrelentingly, and it is a spectacle we have never, as I said, witnessed before, and I can't imagine that we'll ever permit again. It is the agencies themselves have so much to answer for. If there was indeed Russian meddling in the election, quote unquote, why in the world didn't our agencies, those three agencies in particular, know about it and do something about it to forestall it, to prevent it, or to at least carry out retribution for that under President Obama? This was on his watch, not President Trump's. And President Obama has much to answer for in leaving behind a group of intelligence agency directors who carried on the ideological assault publicly and without precedent in American history.
He has a lot more to answer for than
finally,
that.
Oh, yeah.
Clapper and Brennan are now not government employees, but employees of television news networks.
Right.
You and I are also employees of television news networks.
Probably
Have you
so.
applied for a top secret security clearance? Should I apply for a top secret security clearance?
I personally, I think I've said this to you before. I'm going to hold out for subpoena power. I will leave it to you and others to preserve the security clearances.
Okay. I hope you...
Oh, boy.
Ooh. Lou Dobbs going into government?
I don't know, maybe. That'd be an interesting thing to see.
It's like, I want that subpoena power.
On a completely separate, unrelated note, related back to our stream dropping a little bit ago, I just want to mention that I find it kind of weird that everything didn't start going back online until after I turned the Wi-Fi off on my phone. I don't know why the fuck that would have any kind of effect on it, but...
That's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, what the
I
hell?
don't know why that would...
Weird.
That's just very bizarre. I hear a kitty.
Oh, yeah, there's a kitty here. Good kitties not chewing on the ears.
Hey, we don't want no dead kitties.
Oh, no, of course not.
Dude, speaking of kitties, I watched my cat catch a bird last night and then like smack it around for about a half an hour before it finally like did the deed and then stripped of its feathers. There was like a carcass laying on the front porch this morning. I was like, "Hey, thanks, bro."
Maybe he's trying to give you president.
You might want to try to talk to that cat. It might be having some trouble, man. You know, see what's going on. You know, about its life.
Yeah, you might have a kitten that's a school shooter in the making.
Dude, he was like a little terrorist. He kept just smacking the bird like, pow, pow. What you got, bro? You got something? Pow, pow.
Some information. Getting the information from him.
Yeah, it's not torture. It's enhanced interrogation, okay?
Put him.
Like, damn, that shit was brutal.
Then I said I was going to get a belt.
Alright, so... Alright, so I put together a nice little ending segment for us. It's kind of a bit of a high note, kind of a bit of not, but it's drama, dude, and you know how much I love drama. Like, I love drama.
Oh, yeah, you do. You absolutely love drama.
You're a
Out of everybody
drama
that I
queen.
know, you're probably the second or third person who loves drama.
You know, you seem to not
Seriously.
like it, but you're always in it.
I know, every day. So, did you guys hear about the latest with Omarosa?
Yes.
Oi.
Alright. So we're going to walk our audience through it, and I found a selection of clips that I think is going to do it quite nicely. Our first clip is actually going to talk about Trump producing Omarosa's dating show. Let's watch that first before we go on.
Omarosa,
Mr. Trump.
my friend.
It's Omarosa's lost dating show, The Ultimate Merger, executive produced by none other than Donald
The
Trump.
Ultimate
Just
Merger.
check out the way he identifies himself. Donald J. Trump, multi-billionaire.
You've been very good for me, and you're my pal. I'd love to have you meet some guy. Is there anybody that can tame you?
On the show, which aired in 2010 on the cable channel TV1, Trump handpicks 12 eligible bachelors for Omarosa to date.
Over a period of weeks, you're going to decide whether or not there's somebody for you.
Just like on The Bachelorette, there's passion and tears.
I'm in love with her.
I feel like I've been duped.
Viewers even
I'm
see
in love with
Omarosa
her.
in a wedding gown. Now, one of the contestants is coming forward to say the show was a bit of a sham.
I remember saying, so wait a minute. So if I win, am I really going to get married to her? And they said, no, man, it's just for TV. What's that in the rose?
What did you just call me?
Eddie Puyol says Omarosa lived up to her reputation as a reality show villain.
Very cutthroat, very, wow, taken back, kind of brash.
After he was eliminated, Eddie says he was surprised to learn Omarosa was already committed to actor Michael Clark Duncan.
All right, so we're doing a TV show with you, but you're already engaged to Hercules, you know what I mean? Like,
And her blockbuster book and secret tapes.
I'm a big believer that you don't typically want to bite the hand that feeds you.
Omarosa.
Mr. Trump.
Omarosa.
Ugh,
I really thought you guys would enjoy that. That was a good laugh,
that
right?
was good. That was good, man. Oh, a trip down memory lane. The things that everybody thought they forgot.
She's hooking, but she's about to get married to Hercules. I don't have a chance.
All right, so we got our setup. Come on, let's go. Let's get into the meat of this.
Okay. So you guys remember that Omarosa was part of Trump's White House team. She was on one of his advisors. He brought her in the White House and tried to, give her a spot because he actually did favor her. Like, she does have a reputation as a bit of a villain, but he liked her a lot. There's a reason she won The Apprentice,
Mm-hmm.
So she got fired, and it was fucking nasty. Do you guys remember that?
Yep.
Like, it was bad. Like, she was all over social media. There was bad things said back and forth. There was like some news stories that said that she had to be carried out of the White House by Social Service. Social services. Secret Service. Yay! We know words on this podcast.
What's this Social Security card gonna do to her?
Give her a paper cut. But there was a bunch of weird mystery around it. Well, she may have committed treason, maybe? So
let's find out. Let's find out.
Let's get the setup, and then we'll get the treason clip.
White House officials privately tell me, listen, this is one of the most challenging aspects of working in the press shop here at the White House because, simply speaking, you never know what the boss will say or will tweet. And in the case of Omarosa, he has certainly said and tweeted aplenty, including yesterday's infamous dog comment, and that obviously has raised eyebrows all across the country. Now, some here have suggested this new book Omarosa has out, it's called Unhinged, is her chance to settle a few scores. But if you listen to her tell it, Omarosa thinks this is frankly a chance to set the record straight about the president.
He's actually taking more time out. In fact, sending 9, 10 tweets, I don't know the count, to attack, insult, and to silence me. It makes me very, very concerned, and I think all Americans should be concerned that the United States president would behave this way and would be so consumed with someone that he cannot continue.
You see that reality star villain coming out?
He is unfit. He is mentally impaired, and he is doing damage to the republic.
Mm-hmm.
White House officials, to put it mildly, have been aghast at the vitriol coming from someone that they promoted and obviously supported professionally.
She would make a hell of a lobbyist.
Still reticent, though, to criticize the president's comeback tone.
It's not giving many ideas.
The president feels like he should be defending himself and also reminding everyone that he has given her many chances, including all the way here as assistant to the president in the White House.
Kellyanne Conway there with our Brett Baer here at the White House. Another issue to keep in mind, Julie, is this non-disclosure circumstance. You may have read this yesterday. The Trump campaign, not the White House, but the Trump campaign, is pursuing an arbitration against Omarosa, claiming she violated the terms of her non-disclosure agreement. If she loses that could ultimately cost her millions of dollars. Again, that would be a civil action, not a criminal one.
Oh, boy.
How about that? All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, you ready for the next part?
I'm ready.
Hit it.
Trump campaign filing a formal complaint against Omarosa. Manigault Newman accusing the former White House aide of breaking a non-disclosure agreement. Want to bring in today's headliner. David Bosley, former Trump deputy campaign manager, co-author of Let Trump Be Trump, and a Fox News contributor. David, it's been some time. Welcome back, and it's good to have you as our headliner.
Been on vacation, so today's my first day back.
Thank you. Back into the fire we go. Did you have to sign an NDA at the White House?
Well, Bill, I never worked at the White House, so I did not.
Then what about on the campaign? Did you have to?
At the campaign, it was a standard practice. I think that's pretty standard across the board, whether you're working for Donald Trump for president or most campaigns across the country at all levels.
Okay, so Omarosa apparently signed one. She acknowledged that.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
I think she said when she was leaving the White House, they offered her $15,000 a month to stay, but she had to sign another non-disclosure deal. I believe she rejected that non-disclosure. But I guess the point goes to this. If you believe the non-disclosure is in effect legally, why not pursue that before the book comes out and all the media interviews we've watched this week?
Well, first of all, I don't think no one knows what's in the book until it comes out. I still have not seen the book myself. I don't plan on reading it. I'm definitely not buying it, but I can tell you that you don't want to create a problem that if it doesn't exist, meaning why go after her if you don't know the extent of what's covered in the book? Maybe it doesn't violate the NDA. Maybe it does. And I think that that's the reason that you have to wait until the book comes out to see what's in it.
Yeah. Now, the question is, A, whether that non-disclosure agreement is binding, and number two, and I think Omarosa does have
and then number two,
the upper hand here when it comes to proving that or not. The other is the reason why this non-disclosure they claim, the Trump campaign claims, was violated is because she is accusing the president of the United States of using the N-word. That would essentially be what triggered this whole thing.
Well, first of all, that's an outrageous accusation with no evidence, no proof, except for her rumor and innuendo. It is unfair to this president. He is an incredible man. I've met him through non-political means, and he's always been an incredibly warm and generous person. I've never seen that side of him, and everybody that I talk to, no one has ever seen that side of Donald Trump. And only until now, when it becomes politically expedient to sell a book, does she try to say this. And it's just part of the problem with our politics today. And it's unfortunate that Omarosa has just really committed, in my opinion, treason against the man who really created her, and it's just unfortunate that we're seeing this type of backstabbing.
Let's just get back to her in the Situation Room.
Frankenstein's monster,
and then
more like.
The president on that phone call. I mean, she didn't break any laws, but she certainly, it would seem, is definitely on a line here. Where do you draw the line when it comes to former White House employees doing these sorts of things? It's a national security breach in many minds.
This is an outrageous violation of our national security. Whether I want to know the answers to several questions. One is, was it a government phone? Was it a private phone? Was it her personal phone? Or some other device that was used to record these things in the Situation Room? So did she deceive, and did she violate our national security policies, procedures, and or laws by then disclosing them? So I think that's a very important question. And I think...
Go ahead, finish your point.
And I think that Congress, this is really an important point here. Congress can call her to testify about these very issues. And I think that Congress needs to very seriously consider bringing her forward and making her answer questions under oath about what she did, how she did it. Because foreign actors could be at play here, meaning trying to listen to whatever device she brought into the White House surreptitiously. So there could be a violation that she doesn't even understand.
We did a report on compromised cell phones less than a month ago.
She would be pretty proud to be working on the campaign, coming across a number of events and several interviews. What was she like around you?
Well, I could tell you, I was around Omarosa during the campaign a little bit, but she had a personality that was such that she was a bully to the staff, low-level and mid-level staff. She would always throw out that she would tell Mr. Trump.
Did you notice how he avoided calling a black woman bossy?
She would go to Mr. Trump. She would always use that.
The stammering. He's like, she was a bully
every time to get her way. And I didn't work with her in the White House, so I have no idea. But she is the person that I saw on The Apprentice 12, 15 years ago. And always playing that game. And it just wasn't something that I was very interested in participating in.
There's a big trial going on. I'm sure you've heard of it. Paul Manafort. Closing arguments happened today. Here's Kevin Downey.
All right, kill it.
Cut.
All right. That's pretty much the last clip of the show, but it's a nice takeaway, man.
That was good. I'm happy.
Oh, she didn't do anything illegal though, right? Well, actually... Yeah, she did. She violated national security. She recorded the president in the Situation Room.
In a cell phone. SIF, all that.
Yeah, well, that's a big deal. They're not allowed to have personal cell phones at the White House.
Can't do that. You can't. I mean, how do they not? How could somebody just not think like that? Are they really that stupid? Are people really that dumb to think, hey, I'm just going to bring a cell phone in here and it's all going to be all good? And then just not realizing.
She was thinking that life is a reality TV show, my friend.
Oh, that's a very, very good way to put it. Almost poetic.
Yeah, deplorable, Sonny. She says, just boycott Omarosa over making bucks off the hand that fed her fame. And it's kind of interesting you say it like that because, she never really looked at it that way. She probably, in her own mind, thinks that she has been cutthroat and made her way to the top instead of, the other way around, Trump giving her the opportunity and then rewarding her and then asking her to come work at the White House. She probably thinks that this was all her doing. She never had any help. No one ever helps her, and that she's underprivileged.
Well, do we have, proof of that, something like that? Have we read anywhere or anything that's what her mindset, or anything that comes off that says that that's what her mindset is?
That's kind of what I infer from the gentleman that sat there and said that she lives her life like it's a reality TV show. And when you're stuck in that mindset where you're trying to game everything for your own benefit, you start to think that you're the only one that's making moves happen, and you're the only person that's making any changes. Like, all the action is coming from you. Also, she seems like the narcissistic type.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
Man, we're on a wavelength. I almost owed you a Coke.
Yeah. Almost. Next time. I got you.
That's pretty much the end of the show notes. So we're at the end of the show. I'm getting ready to wrap up. You guys got any farewells or shout outs to the chat, or
thanks to everybody for putting up with all of our stuff.
Sorry about the drop stream.
Yeah, that's my bad. I got to look into that and figure out what's causing that. Or rather, I mean, that's probably like the second week in a row that we've been doing this, and then we've dropped, or perhaps the third in a row. But that's been happening on a regular basis every time we engage in this.
I wonder if we have a bandwidth limiter or something like that on Restream, or if there's just an issue with that. So I'm gonna look into it because I'm not 100% convinced that it's your internet. I think that it might actually be one of our streaming platforms.
Yeah, let's do that and look into all that stuff before we start digging into the tinfoil. Even though I'm eager and easy to do it anywhere else. But, yeah.
Sorry, bro. My shit died, and it was plugged in, and now I'm back because I got a new cord.
Welcome. Hey, you made it for the end.
It's always like, you're always here for the end.
My bad, man.
You always make a grand entrance right at the exit. Perfect. I love you, bro.
You need your own pyrotechnic, buddy. All right, boss, you want to take us out?
Oh, yes. This was a good show this week. I'd say, yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks, boss. Sorry about the streaming problems.
Yeah, sorry, you guys.
It's all good.
Again, figuring that out, working it out. We'll get that. Special shout-outs to, well, heck, everybody that's in the fucking chat and joining us right now. Shout-out to Deplorable, to Sonny for helping us out. Who are our chat moderators today?
So I think we got Balalu and I think Blondfin. I think they were the only chat moderators today. And then Deplorable Sunny is actually one of our promo team members. She helps us promote the show on Twitter so we can get more eyeballs on it.
Well, all those
thanks all y'all
jobs.
Guys.
Perfect. Thank you all for doing them. We appreciate them. We appreciate even more that you don't ask for any money because we have nothing. We're broke. We're all broke. We're broke.
We're not making anything either.
This is all for free. We do this just out of pure enjoyment. We like it. So yeah, but that's it. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all had fun tonight. I hope we could have entertained you for a little bit this wonderful August 19th evening, right before the work week begins. Hopefully y'all have a good work day tomorrow and for the rest of the week ahead of y'all. Y'all have a good one. Be safe. If you found anything out, let us know. Anything that you think we should know, that you think others should know, let us know. Connect with us somewhere on Twitter or wherever we are. And, of course, political, what, you gonna...
Don't do it!
Buy water.
No, man, you did it.
All right, are we out?